Hey there and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about builders in San Antonio. In San Antonio, we have a lot of builders, and I've been talking about builders a lot because in this market right now, some of the best deals for buyers are new construction, hands down. If you can deal with commuting to a new build neighborhood, builders have inventory that they have got to move. They're giving away great incentives, and even if you build from dirt, like you won't get as awesome a deal if you need that customization option, but still they have really great incentives. Some of them are doing rate buy downs. Like I got an email this morning about rates at like 4.75 because they'll buy it down for you. So I'm telling you, new build is a great financial opportunity right now if it works for your family. So I was chatting with a friend earlier today and she was asking my opinion on different builders. So you know how I love giving my opinion, so here we go. Here is a nifty little infographic that I made. This is not completely comprehensive, obviously. We have more builders than this in San Antonio, but these were just kind of some that came to mind that I would recommend, some that I've worked with before, had good experiences. Some of these I've had mixed experiences, but let's get into it. So at the top of our pyramid here is what I would consider like the more luxury level. Obviously not like a custom home, although some of these will build you a custom home on your lot if you want. I think David Weekley does that also, and they're kind of in this next bracket. But these top ones are what I would consider luxury. If you want to be in that top level, I would say the floor on these in some of the less expensive neighborhoods for like Monticello and Perry, I think you can still get into one of their homes for $600,000, maybe, depending on where it is. And it wouldn't be very big for sure. But I would say this top level here is going to be from like the mid sixes to upwards of $1 million. I know Scott Felder definitely has things over $1 million. But honestly, if you're paying over $1 million, I would say you might want to look into like a custom builder or even like a pre-owned home. You can get probably something bigger. Although if you want new construction, you want new construction. So these are some really great builders. They're typically going to be in really nice neighborhoods with really cool HOA amenities. One of my favorites is Esperanza in Boerne. They have like a lazy river. They have these living fences, just a really beautiful place to live. So that's something that kind of comes with that higher level of home. I will say that a lot of these still do have some things that are kind of like at the top of that mid-level, but I would consider these like luxury builders. Perry, they might be my favorite. I love a Perry home. I just think they're so, so beautiful. Whoever is working in their design department, good job. Next level here, and I know arguably David Weekley, Coventry, Princeton, Highland, they could bump up to that luxury level too. And that's kind of how a lot of these are. So this middle bracket has such a wide range. And part of that is because it really depends on what neighborhood you're in, but also it depends on customization. So KB is one that comes to mind. They're in this middle group. They have some really wonderful, affordable options. You could easily get into a KB home for about $400,000 depending on the location. But also, if you're building from dirt and then you go to the design center and you just go like hog wild, you can make a very, very expensive but also luxury finish home. So that's kind of depending, like if you have a specific neighborhood that you really want and KB builds there, but you want those luxury finishes, you do have that option. They have tons of customization, which is really cool. And then they have a design center. They'll help you pick everything out. But you can still have a really nice mid-level budget home with beautiful finishes, even at their base level. So I do really like them for that. And KB kind of had like a crisis of confidence or PR, I guess you would say, a few years ago. But the thing that I do like is that they kind of really took that to heart and had lots of focus groups and really reevaluated like their quality control and that sort of thing. And they really upped the quality level of their product. And I also have to say that one of the best construction managers I have worked with in the past 2 years was a guy at a KB neighborhood. David Weekley is another builder that they will really like go all out on customization for you if you want, but also just their inventory choices have some really beautiful luxury finishes. So when you walk into a home and that has like that luxury feel, some of the things that I think are kind of, you wouldn't think about it, but that make a house look more high end is things like extra tall doors. A lot of times David Weekley will do 9-foot interior doors and oh my gosh, they're just so beautiful. Or extra thick baseboards, like 6-inch baseboards. Stuff like that is what takes it from like what I would maybe call builder basic to next level. And David Weekley, Coventry, Highland, they have a lot of that stuff. So that's just like something to consider. And you're more likely to walk into like an inventory home with one of those builders that has those kind of features. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're in a neighborhood and you see that a builder like Perry, Sitterly, Scott Felder is building homes there, but you can really only get into one of these more mid-level but still good quality builders, the value of your neighbor's house always is going to pull your house value up. So it's awesome to be the least expensive house in a neighborhood. That's just a little freebie for you. Kind of like the more accessible to the masses options are going to be Meritage, Pulte, MI, although they're kind of bumping up in price. Gihan, I can't say it right. Ashton Woods has some options, although Ashton Woods designs lately I've been feeling are not that exciting. But all of these, they have a ton of neighborhoods, a lot of options. You're going to find them in a lot of locations, so that's why they're just bigger company. I mean, Pulte is a massive builder, and they own Syntex also, which is kind of like their less expensive brand. Although, I feel like for what you're going to pay for a Pulte home, you could get into something that's a little bit higher end. Empire's one, they're like a smaller company, and they build a beautiful home, but oh my word, my last experience with them, it took forever. I'm talking like over a year, which is a lot. So I don't know if they were having like some issues with like personnel and staffing. That definitely does happen, especially in the last couple of years. Builders have had a hard time with that. But all of these in this mid-level, they have a wide variety of price ranges. They have a wide variety of designs and finishes, and they're in a lot of locations. So that's why this is such a big list. But these are all some really great builders that build in San Antonio that will probably, I could probably find something. If I just had to choose from these, I could probably find something to fit almost anyone's wish list if they were flexible on location. The minimum you're going to need to get into one of these homes, if you really just didn't care where it was, would probably be about $380 to $430. The bottom of the pyramid, listen, new construction is a great option for first-time buyers. It's a really great way to get into a home that is budget friendly. It's not going to have a lot of upfront maintenance costs or repairs you need to do because you've got that warranty set up. So I love new construction for first-time home buyers. And these brands are, some of them are owned by the other things, like Starlight, for example, is owned by Ashton Woods. It's kind of like their budget option. D.R. Horton has like multiple levels. These are the ones that you're going to get in for a really good price, kind of the bottom level. But also, you know, D.R. Horton, Bella Vista, they have really, really nice homes in the higher price points. And the thing that makes them a little different is they don't typically, Bella Vista will, but they don't typically let you contract from dirt. So D.R. Horton, for example, is a inventory builder, meaning they have a design team that sets up the house. They decide where it's going to be, they build it to a certain point, and then they put it on their roster to be sold. So they just have inventory lists. So D.R. Horton is an awesome option if for people who like need a house by a certain time. So you can typically be like just a couple months out and move into your neighborhood, which is awesome. Starlight is probably my favorite for those who just are really looking for something budget friendly. I have worked with some awesome Starlight reps and construction managers. So my experience with them and the people that worked there that I had with my clients was just like really top notch. So I do love them for that. They don't have a ton of neighborhoods right now. I'm hoping that they kind of get some more because I love that they're such a budget friendly option for like a nice house with nice space. No matter what builder you choose, here's some things to keep in mind. Number one, you should always get a third-party inspection. Yes, it's a brand new home, but it was built by humans. So inherently, there's going to be some errors, some things that need to be fixed, and a great construction manager is not going to be fazed by this at all. They're going to be totally fine with it. It's really, really common practice. So don't feel like you're putting them out at all. I always recommend this. You can also get inspections like throughout the process, but definitely you need to get an inspector out there right before closing. And then another great thing to do is right before your warranty expires, when you have that like 1 year covers everything warranty. Some of them call it like doorknob to doorknob or something. But right before that expires, maybe like 2.5 months before that, get an inspector out again. And then everything on their inspection, you just send in for the warranty and get everything really taken care of and buttoned up, because some things do kind of like a house needs some time to kind of settle, and that 1 year mark is a great time to kind of get those items addressed. And then something else that an inspector told me one time that makes total sense is remember that all of these builders are hiring from the same pool of subcontractors here in town. So they all hire from the same group of electricians, plumbers, etc. So when you're thinking about like the price of the home and a luxury builder versus like a high-end, mid-level budget builder, just keep in mind less of that is about the expertise of the people. It's more about the quality of the materials. Just keep that in mind, but the same plumber, for example, might be finishing a contract up working on Highland homes, and then the next week might be over, working on some Bella Vista homes. So you can't say that like, oh, they're going to have a much higher quality electrician, and they all pull from the same subcontractors, which is why another reason it's important to get an inspection. So think about when you say you get what you pay for, it's more like the quality of the materials. Okay, last tip is if you are going to be buying new construction, please, please, please use a realtor. The builder pays me, they pay my commission, but I don't work for them. I work for you. So it is so helpful to have someone who works for you, that understands the process, that can walk you through the timeline, tell you what to expect, and help you communicate with the builder. Builders are going to communicate directly with you a lot, which is great, but it's really good to have someone, especially when things go off the rails, who isn't afraid to like call and try to get the wheels moving. I love working with new construction. I've sold millions of dollars of new construction, and I understand how the process works. I can help you know where your position is with the builder based on the market, how much more your house can be worth when you buy it, things like that. So please, please, please do not go into a builder office by yourself. If you choose to go in a neighborhood, I would always want to go with you. I can actually make it easier because I can set up a time to meet with a rep that I know is a good rep. Not all builder reps are created equal. There are so many that I know and love and would work with over and over and over again. And then there's some that I hope I never have to work with again because they weren't professional, or, they kind of jerked around my clients, things like that. So I would encourage you, always get a realtor to help you with new construction. You will not be sorry, and it will not cost you a dime. If you're thinking about new construction, you can leave a comment below, you can send me a message, you can text me, give me a call. I would love to chat more with you, talk about what locations might work for you, what you're looking for in a new home, and get you started on your new construction journey.